Once again, hello guys. Welcome back to another live stream in our channel. Welcome back to another video in our channel. And there's a lot to talk about. It's the transfer period has just ended, and wow, what an interesting window it has been. And we are getting so much news. I think I cannot even cope up with whatever is happening in Fabrizio Romano's page. Let's start with what happened in the weekend. Chelsea 2-0 victory over Crystal Palace. If you are watching this live stream, leave a hello there on the comment section. If you want to join the live stream, also leave a hello there in the comment section. Say where you're watching us from, greet us, and actually see if the microphone, if the camera, if everything is okay, because we have an action-packed show for you. Now, there's a lot that has happened. The question is, has Maresca been backed? Has Maresca actually done what he deserved after top 4 finish, Conference League win, Club World Cup win? Do you think that Enzo Maresca has said? That is the question. And even when you're looking at this, we also need to look at something else. Do we actually see that Chelsea are actually getting the effects of spending huge sums of money in the last transfer window? Remember, the signing of Mikhailo Mudryk, Chelsea can actually consider it somehow like a flop. The signing of players such as Koulibaly, players such as Aubameyang, players such as Raheem Sterling, the offsetting of wages. Do you think that Chelsea have actually, the transfer window has actually caught up with Chelsea? That's why we are seeing Chelsea is not making those record-breaking deals in the transfer window. Those are some of the questions. But before we start, if you are new in this channel, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And once again, I've said, if you're watching us, do not forget to say a hello. Do not forget to say where you are watching us from. Now, the breaking news is, yes, thank you very much from the UK. It's nice seeing you. I will be coming there very soon to actually have some time with our fans from the UK. So, the question that we are asking today is, are you actually sanctioning the sale of Nikolas Jackson? Maresca has talked about Liam Delap. We saw him on Saturday. He got injured. But now, Jackson, who was supposed to actually step in and aid that ease settling in of Delap's injury, has refused to join Chelsea. And thank you very much, Brian, for your compliments. And Nikolas Jackson has actually said that he doesn't want to come back to Chelsea. He wants to leave Chelsea. And there's even an option to buy in that buy and deal. But I do understand the buy and deal. They want to assess Jackson. They want to see if Jackson is going to thrive in the Bundesliga, which I think Jackson will thrive in the Bundesliga. And that will prompt them to sign Jackson as an heir to Harry Kane. Because you also need to understand one thing. Harry Kane is also not getting any younger. So there's a lot that is happening. We are having breaking news that Tyrique George has also departed Chelsea and has headed to Fulham. Wow. Did anybody expect that? The way Tyrique George put up a performance against Fulham. Interesting. Tyrique George put up a superb performance against Fulham. And now what we are hearing is that Chelsea are actually considering selling Tyrique George. Isn't that interesting? It's not even consideration. He has been sold 22 million pounds. And what I'm saying is that Chelsea are looking to sell academy players so that they're able to get profit. Because academy players means pure profit. Is the signing, because Guehi actually is looking like even Guehi's deal has collapsed for Liverpool. And there's just a lot that is happening. There's just a lot that is happening. And people are now starting to say that they are not going to blame Maresca. Greetings to you, sir. This is a barrister Joseph from Lagos. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, attorney. So people are now starting to say that Maresca does not need to be blamed for this season. But the question is, does Maresca have a substandard squad? Because if people are talking like this, then it means that probably Maresca has a substandard squad. But do I think Maresca has a substandard squad? Jackson with Orels, with Lukaku, unwanted by the club and mistreated by the fans. And you wonder why they want not part of Chelsea. Lukaku disrespected the club. Lukaku disrespected the club. That is one thing that I have to say. Lukaku disrespected the club. Nikolas Jackson has been a professional. And I think Nikolas Jackson, the handling of Nikolas Jackson's situation was so poor. Yes, I understand that Jackson got those two red cards that actually made us lose 2 games. But remember, Jackson acted as a professional. There should be a structured way in which the club should have handled Nikolas Jackson. Yeah, so I have my statistician here. Even Chris, we're going to have Chris very, very soon. But what I wanted to say is that do you agree with some of the fans that are saying that Maresca has not been backed this window? Tyrique George is out. News is that Ben Chilwell has been sold off to Strasbourg. So that is like a Chelsea inward transfer. We are getting news that Raheem Sterling supposed to have gone to Fulham. I don't know what has happened to Raheem Sterling. And if he has not gone to Fulham, then what I'm expecting is that Sterling will go to Saudi. That is more likely. That is more likely because the transfer window has closed. So Raheem Sterling has no interest to move to Turkey, Saudi Arabia, or the United States. So Sterling has said, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to enjoy myself here. And that is what it is. Sterling has refused to leave Chelsea. He has said that he's going to sit here. He's going to enjoy his benefits while training at Cobham. This is probably because Chelsea did not actually complete Sterling's deal. If they had Sterling's deal with the Fulham, then we wouldn't be sitting here. We are also getting some interesting news. Bounanotte has been unveiled by Chelsea also as Chelsea's next player. So Bounanotte has been unveiled, and that is quite great because a lot of people have very, very, very different view about Bounanotte. I think he's a very good player. He's a young Argentine player. He has come in on loan, and those kinds of players who people don't have expectations with. Remember the story about Cole Palmer. Remember how Cole Palmer came. Nobody had expectation about Cole Palmer. Nobody expected anything huge from Cole Palmer, and boom, the minute Cole Palmer got the opportunity, he did what he's supposed to do. Sometimes it's not the shiny toys, Wedege likes to call them the shiny toys, that actually matter. Sometimes it's all about the low-key signings who come in. Malo Gusto, nobody even thought about anything, but he's now starting for Chelsea. Estevao came in. Santos, a lot of people kept on talking about Santos. Is Maresca using Santos in a wrong position? Because in my opinion, I still do not see him nailing down that position. What is going to happen now? Do we have now to heavily rely on João Pedro? Remember, Mark Guiu's loan deal to Sunderland has been cancelled so that Guiu can come back in. I think Guiu gives Chelsea a lot of energy in attack. I think Guiu gives Chelsea a lot of strength when it comes to the attacking play. And I really like the young boy. And we have realized that Maresca has realized that João Pedro does not work to play as a central number 9 in the Premier League. He's outmuscled by defenders. But João Pedro can play as a second striker, which is actually doing well. His passing is great. His creativity is great. The way he moves the ball is also quite fantastic. So what are we actually saying? What are we actually seeing? Has Maresca not been backed this transfer window? Has Maresca not been backed in this transfer window? Has Maresca not been supported despite the achievements that have been made? And even if Maresca was to be supported, where is Maresca supposed to be supported? We're now seeing that players like Disasi are around. Sterling is around. What is going to happen? Now, let's look at the squad now. We have Jorgensen, we have Sanchez, we have another goalkeeper who was brought in as a third goalkeeper, Slolina. Then in the back line, we have Rhys James and Gusto. We have Chaloba, Benoit, Colwill, Fofana, and Tosin. And those are 5 centre backs. Colwill is out injured. Fofana is just coming back into the team. Chaloba and Tosin have been our top, have been our starting centre backs this season. So I have my friend here, Chris, who will also give his opinion, especially emphasizing more on Jackson and Tyrique George. I think that is one thing that is really burning him, that he has to speak it out. But what I can actually say is that when I look at the squad, I do not say that that is a bad squad. I know Maresca would have wanted to have Colwill. I know Maresca would have wanted to have Liam Delap. But the question is, can Chelsea actually persevere with 2 of them actually being out? So also Isaac is in. Pose this question to Wedege. Do you actually think that Maresca has been backed in this transfer window? And do you think that the outgoings and the signings are actually meeting your expectation?
First of all, good evening, and thank you for letting me onto your program. And that's an interesting question. Only now that you asked that question, I've been thinking hard, and I was thinking to myself, the question you should be asking is, what are the goals of Chelsea this season? Do they see themselves as a championship winning team, or do they see themselves as a so-called work in progress, trust the Arteta process? We're not ready yet, all that blah, blah, blah. So if they're in that mindset that they're not maybe ready, so that why would you want to go and spend all this money in buying new players and backing the manager when you think that the young guys, which you by the way don't like, they're not ready and they need time to gel. So it wouldn't make any sense to go crazy like Liverpool, go and spend £450 million on new players because they are ready for the championship. And Man City, I don't know if they're going to panic, but they maybe sounds like to me they've also given up. So the question is, I'll ask you the question, at what stadium is Chelsea? Are they a championship ready team, or they're not quite ready? They need some, I don't know. You answer me that question and I'll tell you after that.
Sorry. Okay. So I do understand. I do get your question. Like, what are the levels for Chelsea? Based on what I heard from Rhys James, who's the club captain, who has an authority to speak on club issues, he said that Chelsea's aim this season is to win every trophy possible. And that is the same thing that Maresca also said. Now, the answer to your question should be, that's their aim. That is, winning every trophy possible involves the Championship, the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup, because those are the only competitions that Chelsea are participating in this season. Now, I want to move on to the second thing. With regards to the squad, what we need to talk about is that, has the squad improved, or has the squad quality increased or reduced? But even before I go to answer that, I have to say this, that I'm not against young players. I'm happy with McGill coming in. I believe he's a good player. I'm also happy with Estevao. He's 18 years old. I'm happy with Cole Palmer and a lot of bunch. In fact, the entire team is a team of young players. Even João Pedro is just 23 years old. So what I can say with that is that the way I've seen Maresca looking to play, he does not want to use João Pedro as a number 9. He doesn't want to use him as a number 9. That is quite clear. The Crystal Palace game actually showed him that João Pedro needs a bit of freedom on that zone 14. So in that case, João Pedro just needs somebody who's going to occupy the defenders and allow him to do the other things. That is, arrive late in the box, shoot from outside the post, make late runs into the box, more like a second striker kind of thing. The way Cavani and Suarez used to play. And So
you sounds like you don't actually believe Chelsea is a championship-winning ready team. Sounds like, for me, from your words, that they maybe it's still a work in progress. They're still young. They still maybe need that one more year before until all these youngsters mature into a championship-winning team. Because if you're going to enter a rat race at Liverpool, that is just insanity what they're doing. Just spending 150, 100 or whatever. Nobody wants to pay. I think Chelsea learned from was it 2 years ago when Bowley came? How much did he spend? 430 million. And as you said correctly, I liked your analysis at the beginning. You said he bought a lot of duds, bought a lot of the Sterlings and the Zasis and I always go my younger. I can carry on. There's so many of those players which was wasted money. And I think maybe they learned something on that. They're thinking, we don't want to be really spending this silly money on players. Okay, we had some good successes. We spent on our best player, Enzo, 100 and something. I don't know how much he cost, 100 or something. That was a big success. Caicedo, he wasn't instant success. It took him time as well. And so those two, where they've spent money, have been good. But some of the other ones have been, they weren't really worth the money. And maybe they're a bit scared to go and spend this money now that they're finally sort of like balancing the books, FFP and all that business. Why do you think they're so busy trying to get rid of the players? They get rid of a player, buy a player for the same amount. They just don't want to be, maybe the owners don't want to put more and more money in this club. They want now to balance the books and then start reaping the rewards for their investment. I don't know, maybe that's the mindset or what's going on there, or I don't know exactly what is their strategy.
Just before I introduce Isaac, I want to say something that you have said about Chelsea being a team that is able to challenge for the championship. I do believe that Chelsea can challenge for the championship, because one thing that I have realized when I'm looking at PSG is also a young team. Nobody expected them to be anywhere near there, and they are there. I think we have a midfield that is good, that can compete with any midfield. I think the midfield of Palma, Enzo, and Caicedo is a well-balanced midfield, though Enzo has been quite rusty in pre-season and actually during the start of the season. Probably I was hearing even some fans saying that he needs a slight breakup so that we can get that breakup Enzo that we had at some spell around last year, but that is not something that we will want for him. The only thing that I think people lost confidence with was when Colwill got injured. But I think Trevor Chalobah, an academy player who I support, has really stepped up. He's one of our very good defenders. You know, the centre-back partnership of Tosin and Chalobah, when you look at it on paper, you're like, can this defense actually keep a clean sheet? Can this defense actually go somewhere? But when they actually play on the pitch, you see they are very good defense. When it comes to defending corners, I'm seeing Tosin is good at winning those balls and protecting Chelsea in the air. When it comes to midfield, I think Chelsea are good enough, just like any other team. And also to support your point with young players, I think Chelsea have some very exciting players in attack. 18-year-old Estevao is a very good player. McGill is also going to be a very good player. By the way, he scored a very brilliant header for Sunderland, by the way. He'll be one player who has played for 2 Premier League teams in the first half of the season, which is something quite unique because he already played for Sunderland and he was good. I also like the way Gil presses. That is something that I also saw in the Conference League. He's a very good player. His finishing is also quite great. So that is good. We have not signed a striker to limit him, so he'll be there. Delap might be back maybe in 3 months. That is probably around late December, January. And also the signing of Garnacho also adds some depth. And also there's this young player that has come from loan from Brighton called Bounanotte, who I think has something to actually offer to Chelsea. I think he's a young player, and because a lot of people don't expect a lot from him, he's also going to bring something. So I can just say something about these comments. The only good thing about this window was the outgoings. João Pedro, Estevao, Hato, I feel the rest wouldn't meet our standards. Why send Nikolas Jackson out when Delap is statistically isn't better. Now, the thing with Jackson is that Jackson was treated harshly by the club. So I think even the players have talked to Maresca. I think he probably talked to Rhys James and he told Rhys James that he doesn't want to play because there's no need of bringing Jackson back into the squad if he clearly wants to go to Bayern Munich. And everybody understands Jackson, why Jackson had to behave like that. He was frozen out of the team. He was made to feel like he's not needed. You know, it would have been better if Maresca was bringing him into the team but not starting him in games and putting him on the bench. But he was even omitted on the bench and being told that he's going. Then you tell him to come back. I think that is one area that Chelsea did bad. Delap is injury prone. We failed to strengthen key areas: centre back, goalkeeper, and a creative central midfield. Again, I think Chelsea did not sign a centre back because they believe that Wesley Fofana is back. So they think that if they sign a centre back, then it's going to create problems because Wesley Fofana is there. So let's hear from Isaac. Then we can get Wedege to answer some of your questions. So Isaac, how are you?
I'm fine, Tyrone. How are you? I can't hear you.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay.
Okay. So finally, we are at the end of the transfer window. And as you were saying, many people are not happy of our team recruiter. Notice something is that we have a good squad this year. The only things which can disturb our team are injury. If all the players are fit, I think we have enough a good squad. Just imagine if Fofana and Lavia were not injured. Imagine if Colwill were not injured. So I think we have a good squad, a good team who can compete to win the Premier League and the Champions League. I'm sure we can. We can do it. But something we don't plan, like injury, can come. And that can fail us to win the Champions League or the Premier League. I think that's how it is. I know many people are disappointed because of Xavi Simon's case, but I think if all the players are fit, we have a good team to compete with others. If you look at every position, we double the player on every position. And I think that is a good thing. And this year, everyone will get some minutes to play, either in Premier League or in FA Cup or in Carabao Cup or in Champions League. And if you compare the competition we are in with the squad we have, so we are good. We are good. But hopefully, we don't get more player injured. So that is a big point. Many people are looking at Arsenal, at Liverpool. You know, Liverpool, maybe when they had Isaac in their squad, they might look strong. From the beginning of the season, in all 3 games, Liverpool is not a scary team from what I've seen. Even that Ekitike, I didn't yet see Ekitike doing something like destroying defense. Look at all the goals which Ekitike scored. It's just, you see, the ball coming to him. See the goal he scored against the second team they played. It was, I think, Gravenberch who shot, and that shot was blocked by another player, and goes to Ekitike. So for me, it's like their attack. You see Ekitike, you see Mohamed Salah. At this time, at this particular time, they are not good enough. So if you have a team which has a morale, a mentality, as we played with against PSG in Club World Cup, I think we can compete and we are able. But Christian asked a good question, by the way, about a clear plan of the team. I know, as you answered, Maresca wants to win more trophy. Maresca wants to build himself. And I'm seeing where Maresca is going. Maresca wants in future to be a big manager in Europe. We can see that by his tactics and his will to win trophies. Then when you see the players, they are young and they are ambitious. They want also to win more trophy. Now, when you go to the board, that's why the issue came. It's from the board. From the board, there is no a clear plan. You cannot understand the way they are managing, the way they are going to recruit player. You can ask yourself, these guys, are they here to win trophies or they are only doing business? They are prioritize their business, then building a strong team. That is from the board. But when you go to the squad, to the players themselves and the manager, they want more and more trophy. So
I have a
that's
question.
what I've seen. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I just have a question, Isaac. And then I will also allow Wedege to also ask it, because I think he also has a question. If the board did not want the team to actually win and they wanted to do selling and profit, because if they wouldn't have built a team, because if you look at where Todd Boehly actually found Chelsea and where Chelsea is now, I think he has built a good team, because you cannot imagine breaking the transfer record to sign Caicedo, breaking the record to sign Fernandes. Look at Palmer. In fact, have you seen what Palmer has posted on his Instagram? He said, a day like this 2 years ago, I joined this very beautiful club. So you can see there is some kind of harmony in the team. So in your opinion, do you think that, yes, they have made mistakes? Like in their first window, I can only say there are two success signings, Cucurella and Fofana. Though Fofana has been out injured throughout, but I think those are the only two signings that they can talk about. So I didn't want to cut you a lot, but I just wanted to say, do you think that they are really not ambitious?
I think they want more to do business than winning trophies. That is what I'm seeing.
But there's also that aspect of financial fair play, because at the end of the day, if you sign players to win trophies and you are unable to sell players, because when you look at the Roman Abramovich era, Roman signed a lot of players and he brought in these players with huge salaries. So some of them, it was so difficult even to sell them off. That's why Todd Boehly had to go to Saudi and sell them. Yeah?
We have many players. We have many players to be sold. There are many.
No, I'm not saying now.
Why
I'm saying, remember the clear out that Todd Boehly did. The selling of Loftus-Cheek, yes. Pulisic, Havertz, Mount, Werner, Edouard Mendy, Ziyech, and all those players, Azpilicueta. So all those players were under contract in Chelsea, including even Kovacic and Kante. And a lot of these players, the core group of players who are good were being sold, were supposed to go, but they were on high wages. So it became even difficult for Todd Boehly to sell them within Europe, so he had to go to Saudi to sell them. Then when you look at that, he has made some mistakes. Yes, I agree, because in his first spending, I think Wedege pointed it out clearly, he went ahead and signed players like Aubameyang, Koulibaly, Sterling, and and these are some of the players who Chelsea have struggled to get rid of, because you find
Omari
Sterling is
Kellyman.
always- yeah.
Omari Kellyman.
Who's that?
Someone like Omari. Omari Kellyman.
Yeah.
Kellyman.
Was signed. Was
He
signed
came
by
from,
Chelsea.
yeah, he was signed. Yes, he came from Aston Villa. Yeah,
Mhm.
Aston Villa. And today he was loaned to Cardiff in League One. We bought that player. He get injured during the training and he was out the entire season, all 2 seasons. And today we loan him to Cardiff. Let me get for you that.
Yeah, but again, even the circumstances itself that a player gets injured for that long period, then he goes out. You know, he cannot come in. There's a player who we had called Van Ginkel. He also had a very long injury. Wedege, you have a question for Isaac?
No, apart from the fact that I'm trying to learn how to speak Lingala from his country. There, I like the music from there. I love the music. The music is fantastic. The music is fantastic. So the language is just inspired me to learn the language. But no, but Mr. Isaac, you know, he is very correct because we agree on this. That, but I just think maybe Chelsea pulled the handbrake because they don't want to enter this rat race with Liverpool, because Liverpool's so strong, and then maybe they think that this is the management think that even if they did spend all this money buying all these high-end players, they still couldn't compete with Liverpool. Liverpool's so strong, so maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're going to do like Liverpool, save their money. You know, you saw Liverpool the last transfer, 2 transfers, they didn't buy anybody. And this is why suddenly they have so much money to spend. Maybe Chelsea is going to do the same kind of strategy, save some money, sell a lot of players, make the squad smaller. Remember Maresca, what did he say? He wanted a squad of 21 players. So he shouldn't complain. He's got a squad of, he's still got a squad of like 50 players. But if he gets a smaller squad, it's easier to work with. So, you know, you don't want to bring in more players. And then unfortunately, the players they buy, these are all like 5 years down the line development players. They're not none of these plug and play ready players. You know, yes, they bought João Pedro, yeah, plug and play, good, fair enough. But Delap that we saw is already kaput after 2 games. What a waste! But he was cheap. Fortunately, he was I say cheap, you know, cheap in comparison to
Jackson.
Jackson. But my heart has been broken twice today. Twice. So my heart is broken with Jackson, you know, refusing to come back, and now finally at Bayern München, and even worse. Man United bought a replacement for Onana. So this is even more terrible. So Onana is probably going on loan somewhere. So we won't be watching any comedy anymore from United. They bought a goalkeeper from Belgium. I think Belgium was some Belgian guy there. I don't know.
From Antwerp.
Is he good? I don't even know how good he is. I've never heard of the guy. I don't know if he's good or what.
But Onana is not going. The transfer window is closed.
He's not going. I thought he was going on loan somewhere.
I don't think so. He's
but I don't think many clubs will have to. If you watched him in the midweek in the cup there, I don't think many teams will be too keen on picking him up. Think, this guy, no. Is he a goalkeeper? What is he? A bodybuilder? We don't know what he is. But somebody paid a lot of money for him. And you saw, I think, was this Ten Hag? Wasn't it Ten Hag that bought him? The one who just got fired after 2 games. I think that's a very, very poor sense of judgment. If you can buy Onana, surely you should have seen your scouting. And by the way, you notice something. So remember how this player here, everybody, even you, Mr. Tyrone, you're going out by Goicoris, all this, that, the other. And no big club wanted him. You notice how nobody wanted him?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, at the end, Arsenal picked him up. And then we see why nobody wanted him. So these, obviously, the big clubs, their scouts, they did their homework and said, this guy, you know, maybe he's good in Portugal, but if he comes to Premier League, he will struggle. The defenders will bully him. He hasn't. Yes. So it will take him time. You know, he needs to physically get stronger mentally for sure. You have to get stronger. This is the Premier League. Premier League is a different kettle of fish. You can't compare it to the Bundesliga or to League One is okay. French players seem to do pretty well in the Premier League, but all the other leagues, when they come to the Premier League, they struggle, and that is because mentality, physicality, tempo. Don't forget about that's very underestimated. Premier League, the fitness levels you need for that speed they play with, that backwards and forth. You need a very, very good condition, physical condition, sort of like stamina, because in other leagues, Italian, Spain, Turkey, whatever, they play much slower. So you don't need the kind of fitness like you do in the Premier League, where it's just crazy speed from one end to the other end, and you just make one small bad pass in the middle of the pitch there. The other team is straight away counter-attack, and it goes so damn quick. But you saw yesterday, by the way, you were very interesting. Isaac was saying something about Liverpool. So Liverpool yesterday, they first half, they parked the bus. They were scared. They didn't dare attack Arsenal. And Arsenal, unfortunately, was just as scared of Liverpool. They didn't attack. It was so dull. And at least in the second half, Liverpool tried. But, Tiki, is he that good? Salah looked very, very slow. And it was only that guy there. We saw some small glimpses of Beats. That goal there, what's that one? Was it offside goal? We saw a little bit of glimpses here and there. And that goal, obviously they scored. That was like, he'll never score again like that. Never, ever again. It was just a freak shot, And of course, I was hearing something about football. It's because of Puma football and the ball is flying weird. I didn't save it. I don't know if that's true. What his goalkeeper was saying with this guy here, Raya. But that is, as I said, that game should have been 0-0 because Liverpool, they didn't deserve to win that game. And what about this guy here, Eze? Was he really that good?
One thing I have to say before even go to Eze, Arteta approached that game with the idea that Ferguson used to say that if you're going to play at the top 6 teams, make sure you don't lose away and make sure you win at home. There is that thing that Ferguson used to say. Don't make sure you draw away, make sure you win at home. But one thing I also want to say is that a lot of people are getting so scared about Liverpool spending. There is always this thing that goes that whoever wins the transfer window usually struggles during the season. Because as much as Liverpool have signed many players, they have to fit in these players into the team. They should have signed these players before the season started so that they could have a lot of time to deal with them in the preseason. Because one thing I have to say, Vats has been signed for around 116 million pounds. Vats cannot cope up with the Premier League. Sometimes he gets the ball and somebody has already taken the ball off him and he can't cope. He doesn't know when to press. He doesn't know when to hold the ball. He doesn't know when to pass the ball. When he's receiving the ball, he's automatically being pressed. He's making a poor pass. So it doesn't automatically translate that Liverpool have signed a lot of players that their season is going to change. I think one signing that Liverpool really needed and has not happened is the signing of McGuehi, which seems to be off now. The signing of Liverpool for McGuehi is off. Maybe that happens in January. I don't think Crystal Palace are going to sell him in January. And I don't think that Liverpool will go for him in January. Because one thing that people don't understand, Konate got injured during that game. Am I right? I think Konate got injured.
Yes.
Konate got injured.
You are right. Yeah.
And they had to bring in Gomez to play alongside Virgil. And Virgil van Dijk, I just want to say this, Virgil van Dijk is in his sunset days. That is something that a lot of people do not want to say it. He's not Thiago Silva. People thought that was
the entire defense of Liverpool is off. If you watch Kerkez leave his body at Bournemouth.
Yeah, Kakez was actually getting spanned by Wedege's favorite boy, Noni.
He was good, very good. Madueke was very, very good. Best Arsenal player.
Yeah, should have kept him.
I don't know about that, but you're saying that yesterday was the best Arsenal player.
Yeah.
And that other guy, who's the other guy, the left wing, but he was playing defensive. Who's that guy? That other Arsenal.
I think Martinelli.
Martinelli. He was
Martinelli-
very, very good defensively. Wow. I was shocked how good he was.
But he was very terrible going forward.
No, yeah, but he had no energy. Come on, he's not a donkey. He can't be everywhere.
No, have you seen the way Neto plays? Neto defends like that. Neto attacks like that.
Neto defends. When does Neto defend?
Yes.
Neto defends.
Yes.
He does a lot of work. Off the ball, Neto does a lot of work.
I have to look again because I've just seen him running like crazy. He's got top speed and he works hard going forward. I just never noticed his defensive work.
He does a lot. If he plays ahead of you, if he plays ahead of you, he does so well. He tracks runners superbly. That's why even in the Club World Cup final, he was made to play down the left, and you saw the way Hakimi was not in the game. He was the one who was tracking Hakimi.
But who? Okay, since you're talking tactics, so who covers when Cucurella? Most of the time, he looks like a left winger. Who covers for him when he's bombing forward? How do they adjust there to make sure that they don't get overrun?
Chelsea move into a back three.
Explain.
So when Cucurella is playing, if Tosin is playing, he plays down the middle and then Colwell covers for Cucurella. Sometimes if Tosin is playing with Chalobah and Reece James, Chalobah will cover for Cucurella.
Well, interesting. I never thought about that. That is very, very interesting tactical analysis.
Because we usually play with three centre backs.
When we attack, Cucurella is going to occupy the half space. So there will be like 6 in front, 1 at the middle, who is Caicedo, and then we have back 3.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. So, but what happens? So what happens then when I see sometimes Cucurella one-on-one, he's running like crazy, trying to backtrack. Does that mean that the coverage in the middle wasn't effective? Or what happens there when he's been isolated?
No, it's actually getting back to his position. So sometimes you realize that you see when the ball is played out wide, it is better if sometimes it doesn't have to be that the wide centre back has to shift across. No, because maybe a player can make runs into the space that he has left. So sometimes what you realize is that the 3 centre backs will stay close to each other and limit the ball being played through the middle. So the opposition will play the ball wide. So when the ball is played wide, it will allow Cucurella to run back and actually join that defense. So now they will become 4. So now Cucurella can work on the player who's making that run. And that's why Cucurella is so important for Chelsea, because the role he plays, no other player can play. Because Cucurella is the player who can play forward, he can play midfield, and he can play in the back.
Well, I was at the Club World Cup business there. Somebody, I don't know who it was, but I was watching Facebook, some Facebook group. They stole your tactical analysis. They use your voice, but they put their own image and they put their own logo. But I could hear it was your voice. Somebody stole you. Somebody stole your.
Why didn't you share?
I didn't really know you at the time because I was just watching you. But I just remembered it sounds like Tyrone speaking in the background, but somebody else is taking credit for your analysis. I said, like, wow, fucking people have no shame. And this is what people do on the internet. They steal other people's work, content. And it was I thought, wow. But it's
you should actually give it to me. I want people who are doing that. I want them to slap them with some copyright.
It's true. That is actually a good point. But yeah, it was some Chelsea page. I can't remember what the name was. They have a lot of videos. They steal from all over. And it was. I was watching and I was listening. I think, wow, this Tyrone knows what he's talking about. And tactically, anyways, but it's.
Then you realize that it isn't me.
It's you. Come on, you're a smart guy. Come on.
The owner of the page.
But I think it's low morals to steal somebody else's work and then claim it's yours. It is very, very.
Yeah, I think since I started to put a lot of videos on TikTok, I know I'm going to get somebody on TikTok using my videos. And if it's a big account, they have to pay me for damages, or I bring the account down. Bounanotte Facundo already done, signed some days ago. Yeah, what do you think about Bounanotte?
Who is the Bounanotte? Never heard of him.
This is the question for you. It's a question for you, actually.
It's
I've
for
never heard of
me.
him. I have no idea who he is. Tell us.
Okay, in my opinion, he plays more of an attacking midfielder, and he's a very creative player. He's a young creative player, and what fascinates me about him is he's a very direct player. He's a player who likes to have shots, especially shots outside the box. So with him, is that player who, whenever he gets that space, he will attempt a lot of shots. I used to like him in Brighton. To me, he's more like the feeling I had for João Pedro when he was in Brighton. I also used to like watching João Pedro in Brighton. So that's the same thing with Bounanotte. I used to see him, and he almost even, I think he has ever even scored a goal against us.
I know. So if he's so good, why Brighton loan him to Leicester last season?
He's very young, and then he was playing the position that João Pedro was playing. Sometimes you might find yourself like Cristo, like Nkunku. Nkunku's position is the position that Palmer plays. So what you realize is that he is not going to get chances to play in his best position because that's where Palmer plays. You see. Let me just get something for you here from. I know that we don't have our statsman here, so today I will be the statsman.
But it sounds like a player like Garnachos and Gittins. It sounds like a similar kind of player.
He's a left-footed player. He's 23 years old. He's from Argentina. I didn't know that people are. Oh no, he's born in 23rd December. Sorry, he's not 23 years old. He's 20 years old. Wow. Why am I saying that his defensive work is more than his attacking work? Let me just share my screen here. This is quite interesting.
And then he's a striker.
Look at these stats here. It's so good. I think he's putting up Caicedo numbers and he's an attacking midfielder.
Wow.
What would you think if you saw those numbers down there? You would think that probably is Caicedo.
Caicedo was injured, isn't he?
No, Caicedo is okay, but I'm saying the stats that he has, you might think he's Caicedo.
No, but Caicedo, he only trained once from the last weekend, and then he played the game. He trained on Friday and played the game, and he left when the game was over. He was humping. So I don't know. Maybe he's tired. Maybe no rest.
Sorry.
Second
question. Someone asked you a question regarding Facundo Bounanotte.
Yeah.
How do you rate him?
He's coming in to do the Dewsbury Hall job.
Exactly.
He's coming in to be a squad player for the Dewsbury Hall job. Let me just say this. I know this is going to hurt Christian a lot, but I'm not such a big fan of Santos going forward. I believe he's good playing deeper. Because when he goes forward, his decision-making is not quite good. So I think if Bounanotte comes in, I think he's more likely to give Chelsea a better performance than what Santos gives us. But I want to see him play because sometimes you see these stats, he got it when he was playing for Leicester last season. So you find that sometimes a player has been playing in a team for a very long time. So you realize that he just adapts those statistics. And those who are with us in the comment section, today we want to invite some few of you to also have their say. You said, Wedeke, it's good that we also have some few people here.
It's true.
Yeah, so we can
put the link in the comments.
Yeah. So I'm going to invite some of you here. We can call you one by one. If you want to join the live stream and say something, click the link there. I've actually posted the link there. If you want to join, and then you can come here and also get to ask questions for the panel. That's how we met each other over here, through the link in the comment section area. So
You mentioned, sorry to interrupt you. You mentioned Jules Riho. That's another big mistake to let go. He is a quality player. You'll see how that Everton team has come alive with Jules Riho. And it is. I don't understand. Maresca never get.
I didn't sanction Dewsbury Hall's sale. I liked him also.
He's Maresca's son. I don't know why he sold his own son. It makes no sense. But maybe the wages and all that.
No, he wasn't.
That is business we're talking about.
Yes. I don't think it
business I'm talking about.
Oh, just a minute. I don't think it's about business or wages. I think because Dewsbury Hall is so close to Maresca, and Maresca understands that Dewsbury Hall plays in a similar position as Cole Palmer, probably it is a decision that he made with Maresca that he wants more game time. I think that is more of a player wanting to play more. Because you see, next year, the World Cup is starting. So a lot of players want to play so that they can be in contention to be selected. So I think Everton made sense for him. It's a Premier League club, and he will get to play in, week out. So I think with the Dewsbury Hall, it was more about, I want to play more games. So he came up, and Chelsea managed to make a profit. But I think if he was comfortable, you see, one thing about Dewsbury Hall is that he's the most professional player in the squad. He's that player who will sit on the bench. When he comes in, he will give his all. When he starts, he will appreciate. If he doesn't play, he will not talk. So he was a good player. And I think because he was so humble and he played under Maresca in Leicester, I think Maresca said that, I think you deserve more playing time, and I don't think I can give you that at Chelsea. So I think that is the reason why he left.
Has the transfer window closed, or is it still open?
It's closed.
And Liverpool, they didn't get Gay.
No.
Yeah.
Just by midday, by midnight, I think.
No, it's closed. It's closed. Go and check Sky Sport. It's closed.
So that's good. They didn't get Gay because Liverpool will be weak on the counter and the transition. As you said, as I said to you a long time ago, VVD, his legs are gone. He's finished. He's always the one who's causing all the Liverpool goals. So keep him there. Liverpool will be still weak in defense. And now with the arrival of, what's his name? Isak, Liverpool will be attacking even more, which means that their midfield will be even more exposed. So this is actually a good thing that they got him. Yeah,
it's a blessing. Because also Isak gets injured a lot.
Oh, yeah. But it's just more the fact that the team will be more exposed. You know, they may be good at attacking, yes, very toxic and all that, but at the end of the day, you still got to also defend. And if you can't defend, it doesn't matter how many goals you score once in a while. But the other teams, if they run through you, no, it's not going to. A very interesting point. You said it takes time for all these new players to gel, to find the limit, to find the hierarchy, who's what, and who's on top. And all that, and it takes maybe half a season or something, but then again, if you look at the competition, already Arsenal's out of the picture. Man City looks finished, so it's only basically Chelsea and Tottenham who's going to press Liverpool. But do we have the stamina? Do we have do we have that winning mentality? That also takes time. You can't just from one season to the other season just build up a winning mentality. It takes a few seasons to build that automatism. You can see Liverpool winning rubbish games 1-0. You think, what? How did they win this game? You saw Newcastle, the other game there, how Chelsea boy there scored 90 whatever minutes. That is what is Jurgen Klopp used to say, a mentality monster. But that doesn't come automatically. You have to work very hard for many years to get that automatic. Chelsea used to have it under Mourinho. We had that automatic, and we need to go. But we need to reach that level mentality-wise, reach that level before we can actually start thinking about championship. This is why I was asking you, are we really ready for a championship? Or mentally, players, yes, we've got the players and all that, but mentally, are they strong enough? Because they were strong enough at the World Cup, but this is the Premier League is completely different. I don't know. We shall see. When Sanchez starts letting in goals, is this going to start affecting the rest of the players, or are they going to bound together and say, okay, we go as a team, or is it those kind of questions? Mentally, how strong are they? Is the captain, the so-called captain, Reece James, is he strong enough? He's the leader. The leader. You need a very strong leader. So in games where things aren't going so well, where maybe the team's having a poor run of form, the captain is going to be the one who's going to lift up the play. The coach, you can coach, you can give the tactics and all that. At the end of the day, the captain is on the field. The one motivating. John Terry, remember how he used to be. He would get players to perform 50% more than what they probably were doing in another club, only because he was a motivator. So, but it's Reece James. I see he's grown. I've noticed he's becoming more vocal. He's becoming more like body. You can see his body language, everything. He's sort of like maturing into that role. But unfortunately, he's not a starter in the team. He doesn't seem to play many. He plays some games, comes on with a sub. The first thing he comes on, hey, give me my armband. He goes to Enzo, give me my armband. Enzo say, okay, whatever. Yeah, have that piece of cloth, but I'm still the leader of this team. But I don't know. I don't know mentally if we're ready. This is my question.
One thing I want to say about the mentality, I think we have developed that mentality, because if you say it's about the years, then one thing I have to say is that Arsenal should have had that mentality, and Arsenal have not had that mentality, because they have been together with Arteta for 5 years. They have been second 3 times, and this season, where they're supposed to be very hungry to go to win the title, they are benching Odegaard, they are benching Eze going away to Anfield, they are playing pragmatic going to Anfield. And I don't think if you are a team because I remember when Guardiola's Manchester City was actually looking to win the league. You could find Guardiola going to Anfield. He has John Stones, he has De Bruyne, he has David Silva, he has Bernardo Silva, he has Gundogan, he has Sané, he has Sterling, he has Mahrez, he has Aguero, he has... Guardiola used to go strong, and he would go to Anfield, he will dominate the game. He might not win the game, but the game will end 2-2. The game will end 2-1. The game will end Liverpool winning or somehow. But Pep would take that game. He would go to Anfield to win. That is not something that I'm seeing Arteta doing. And Arteta also had that same thing towards Manchester City. Remember, it is only last season when they got to beat Manchester City. But before that, they used to approach Manchester City with a cautious mentality. So what I'm saying is that I have not seen Chelsea play a big team, but towards the latter stages of last season, we have another person who has joined. So let me just add him. I will ask him some questions. Then Isaac can proceed from there. So what I wanted to say is that you notice something from last season towards the end, the run that we had. After Neto scored the winner against Fulham, we started to see some mentality in this team. We saw the win. We saw even the way Chelsea played away at Newcastle. Remember, we lost that game because we were man down, but you could see the mentality when we were playing with Newcastle. Also, another thing that we noticed is the winner against Nottingham Forest, and the way the team played, and the way the team defended that 1-0 away at Nottingham Forest, the way the team grinded that Manchester United result at Stamford Bridge, the way that team played with a lot of flair and a lot of confidence. Facing Liverpool, they actually beat the champion. So one thing I want to see is, am I going to see a Chelsea team that is going to go to Old Trafford, despite whatever is happening in Manchester United, and know that this is a ground that we have not won since 2013? Are we going to go to Old Trafford to not lose? Are we going to go to Old Trafford to win? Because despite Manchester United being so poor, despite Manchester United even finishing 15, this is a team where we approached a game at Old Trafford, we are either drawing or losing. So I want to see, will Chelsea go to Old Trafford? Will Chelsea grind and get a result? If Chelsea can get a result, then I'm like, there is a change in mentality. When Liverpool come to Stamford Bridge, are Chelsea going to allow Liverpool to come and boss them at Stamford Bridge? Are Chelsea going to take the game to Liverpool? Are Chelsea going to play well, dominate well, and win that game? So I think in the Club World Cup final, I can say that was the epitome of mentality. PSG are such a superb team. Everybody expected PSG to slap Chelsea 5-0, and Chelsea looked unbothered. And even when you look at the players' comments before the game, you saw the way Colwell talked, you saw the way Reece James talked. They were like, we are coming to win this. So before I actually introduce Isaac, because Isaac has to say something, I want to hear what Shiloh has said. And if you're in the comment section and you want to join the live, please hit that link. So Shiloh, how are you? And can we actually get to see you, please?
Oh, like I can't come to the camera right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I've been hearing what you've been saying. And like, you're not exactly wrong. Chelsea have strengthened compared to the beginning of last season till now. Though I'm like, have you been watching like the games of Enzo Fernandez? I don't think he has been playing very well. That's the only player I'm a bit worried about. But the rest of the team, like, if we played Man United with players like with players like João Pedro, Esteval, Neto, and like Reece James, we have strong players. Caicedo, Chaluba. I think we can beat them easily. But the only player that I'm worried about right now is Enzo Fernandez, because I don't think he's very fit. Do you think so?
I don't think he's had a very good season when it comes to the way he's starting. He has been very, very appalling. He has had a heavy touch on the ball. His passing has also not been quite great. He killed around 3 counters last game, and that was something that was interesting. Isaac.
Yes, coming back to Enzo Fernandez. So I know he didn't start well this season, but I'm sure he will catch up. He will catch up. He will come to the level. It's just a starter. You see, when you start a diesel car, it's always taking time to, and when it starts running, so it's a good car. So it will, same as Enzo, he will catch up. So
Yeah.
I want to come also on the mentality as what Tegi was saying. The good things in our squad, we have someone like Cucurella who won the cup with Spain. We have Reece James, our captain, who won the Champions League. We have Enzo Fernandez, who won the World Cup. So it's a boost for us. We have at least some people who won the major trophies, and that motivates also. They can give that same how can I say, they can give that spirit to others player in the squad to win more trophies. Because when you see a player like Estevao, is very young, but is someone who is thinking one day to be a Ballon d'Or, is thinking to win a Champions League. So the mentality is there. So now we need to have a clear plan when we start each and every games, because something which I don't appreciate, when we start at the beginning of the game, it's like Chelsea want to observe and see what the opponent will do, and then we start to react. This season I didn't see a game where we start like attacking and dominate the opponent. It came versus against West Ham. We give them like time and then we start to react. So that mentality has to come from the first minute of the game. We need to attack and to create some doubt in the opponent. Because when we face at the first game this season, when we face Crystal Palace, and then many clubs saw how Crystal Palace was defending, was trying to put a low block. So everyone got that plan and trying to implement that same plan against Chelsea.
Yeah,
So
in that,
on our side, what we have to do is to do not leave them time to put their plan in place. We have to destroy the plan from the first minute of the game. And with that mentality, we can also improve and make our games easy.
Yes.
But don't
And,
you think? But don't you think maybe Maresca has changed tactics here? So this is a bit like baiting the other team, saying that when Chelsea were playing slow to begin the game, giving the other team sort of like courage to attack, so they can leave themselves open and exposed, and they do that a few times, and then when they get very comfortable playing like that, when you're suddenly in that mindset where you're not parking the bus. And this is where Chelsea is, as you know, is very deadly on the attack. 2 passes from your own half to the other half to the other penalty box. 2 passes, Chelsea through on goal. And then maybe this is what Maresca has changed. Maybe he says we don't need to be ball dominant. Maybe we don't need to. We play in the counter attack against these low block teams. Why should we make all the effort? We can't break them down because they park the bus. Maybe this is a change of tactics. I don't know if that is correct analysis, but it feels that way there. Plan B. This is Plan B. We've always talked about Plan B.
yes. Just a minute. There is Master T here. So there's Master T who was here and has actually left the chat. I wanted to introduce him, but he's out. So if you are hearing us, kindly try joining again because I've seen you here. Okay, he's here. So just a minute. Okay, before I introduce you, I've said that we have a second channel called Talk Football TY Clips, and the link is in the description area. If you are watching and you have not subscribed, subscribe, because there we do videos with regards to other teams. So, Master T, how are you? And if you can have your camera on, we would appreciate it. How are you? We are not able to get you.
Maybe he's mute.
He doesn't look like he's mute. Probably he's using his earphones or something like that. Check your earphones if you're using a headphone, something like that. Then probably we'll reintroduce you. So, yeah, I think I interrupted you, Christian.
No, I was just asking your analysis on that. What our friend was saying about he wanted Chelsea to attack from the first minute, just attack.
No. You can never play like that football. You will not even play an entire half. You will not even play an entire half. There is what we call game management. And game management can come in 2 ways. One, you can do it the way Pep and Maresca want it, which is sometimes you get the ball. Like sometimes you'll find Estevao receiving the ball. Chelsea are 2-0 up. Chelsea are looking to counter. But Estevao will get that ball. Then he will pass the ball back to Caicedo. And people will be like, why didn't you attack? No. Sometimes it's not about attacking. Sometimes it's about conserving energy, playing the ball, just keeping the ball to take out. Because there's some moments in the game where the opposition starts to gain momentum and they start to attack a lot. So that is the time you really need to get the ball, keep the ball a bit, kill that momentum, and then begin to attack. It's all about game management.
I also like the tactic when Maresca employs some players to help the players on the wings, because sometimes they are like too isolated on the wings. I like how Estevao and Gusto, and on the left they're like Neto and
Shiloh, yeah, thank you for your comment on that. But today I just want us to focus on the main topic of discussion, which is the transfers. So I can ask you a question with regards to that. The tactics, maybe we will do it in another live stream, but today the main focus is in attack. Do you think that Maresca has been backed in this transfer window? And if not, why?
I don't think he has been. I think he has been backed only like maybe 30%. I feel like he wanted a striker like João Pedro. But as for the wingers, I'm not really sure he wanted Garnacho. Or maybe he wanted Gittins, I don't know. But it was evident that Maresca wanted a centre-back. That one was very evident.
So what we can say is that we can then say that he's probably backed 80%, because if he has gotten a striker, if he's gotten a winger, and it's only a centre back who he asked for, and he has not gotten.
He also wanted a keeper, I think.
Really?
I think Chelsea wanted to sign Manian, but they were lowballing. Like they wanted him to sign him for 15 million, but AC Milan were calling 25 million.
He's not even worth 5. He's not even worth 5. Mannion, that old guy there, come on, out of date guy. You're not surprised nobody wanted to buy him. Come on, let's be serious. Let's be serious here. Mannion is not even an upgrade on Anna. You know, they both know they can play with their feet, but they can't stop the ball. What's the point? No, come on, let's be serious. But I agree with you there. He's been back there. They got themselves a Delap, and we have thought, you guys thought, Delap is the next best new big shiny toy. Get rid of Jackson. You showed him no respect, and you humiliated him. And now suddenly, Jackson, please come back. He said, well, screw you. And
that was heartless from Chelsea.
Thank you. You can't. There's no way you wouldn't even treat an animal that way. There, I just thought that's so disrespectful. On top of that, to say no, we're cancelling your loan deal. Really, come on, man. That is just. I was going to use another word, but I'll refrain. I was going to say some. But I just think it's unfair to treat somebody like that. You know, if I was Jackson, even I would say, you know what, then I'll do a Sterling. I'll go and play the bum squad for 2 years or 3 years, and you can't treat me like this. I'm not a donkey, and I'm a human. I got feelings, got emotions. Yes, okay. You didn't want me part of the team. Fair enough. Let me go somewhere else.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you: is Chalobah also a donkey?
Chalobah is a professional. He's a winner.
So Jackson is not a professional.
Is not yeah.
No, but hang on.
Thank you.
Wait. Jackson, the manager told him, I don't want you because I got now my new shiny toy in Delap, and I got João Pedro and whatever. I got all these players. There's no space for you. Maybe it's for time for you to move on. Chalobah, they sent him to the bomb squad.
Watege. Sorry to interrupt you, Watege.
Yeah.
Do you know that Jomansi Kamara?
Who?
Jomasi Kamara. Do you know him? He's the
Kamara,
agent,
Kamara.
one of the agent of
Okay.
yeah. He's one of the agent of this guy Jackson.
I'm listening.
Yeah,
And the point
you
is,
see that guy, and I'm sure is the guy, is the one who is always post some comment about Jackson on Instagram, and I think is the same guy who told to Jackson to do not agree to come back to Chelsea.
You see, agents
So
always
he's the
want.
one who advised. He's the one
Yeah.
who advised Jackson to do not come back to Chelsea.
And that's why I'm
That's
saying.
why when I'm comparing, yes, go ahead, Tyron.
yeah, but hang on, Isaac. So you put yourself in Jackson's shoes. Are you going to come back to Chelsea? Just be honest, hand on your heart. If you in Jackson's situation, you're on an aeroplane heading towards, I don't know, to München somewhere, and then the phone call comes in, hey, turn the plane around, come back. What are you going to think? What are you going to feel? Are you going to come back and say, oh, this is my chance?
As
But,
long as Jackson didn't yet sign for Bayern, he's still under contract with Chelsea.
That's not the question I asked you. The question I asked you personally, if you put yourself in this situation, if you treat it that way, how are you going to feel? How are you going to react?
But you see, we have two cases. We have Jackson and we have the example of Chalobah. So
Just a minute.
Remember, Jackson before to be sold somewhere else, he wanted to stay. The same guy wanted to stay, and now they have given him opportunity to come back. He refused. That was the opportunity for him to prove that you guys, you were wrong to sign Delap. This was a good opportunity. I was expecting him to come back.
Yeah, but hang on, Isak, no, wait. My friend Isak, you know I love you to death. I'm going to ask you a question again. Now,
Isak wants to talk about that Jackson deal.
Yeah, but Isak, this is, let's just say you have a girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, and your girlfriend, you've been with her, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years, like Jackson, 2-3 years. Now your girlfriend says, Isak, I'm ending this relationship. I found a new shiny toy.
And then,
no, but hang on. This is just an analogy. So, and then your this girlfriend, she's with this other guy. And then it lasts maybe for 2 weeks, and then she comes back to you and says, "I want you back." What are you going to do? What are you going to say? You're going to say, "Oh, God, get lost." I'm a man. I have feelings. I have emotions. I have my pride. And this is basically what it is. And as for Chalobah only came back because Chelsea is his boyhood club. He loves his club. He will do anything to stay at the club. And that is. And Chelsea came and begged him to come back. So that's completely different. But I don't know. It's a very interesting question there. If I'm Jackson, I definitely not coming back.
Just a minute, Mehdi. I want to pose this question to you. That is actually this. I want to bring you to where we are now. So Isaac has this idea that Jackson is unprofessional. That Jackson had an opportunity to come back after his loan was cancelled and come back and play for the team. But Wedege is saying that, and he has given an example of Chalobah, the way Chalobah was treated. He was kicked out. Then January he was brought back and is now playing. Now, Isaac is saying that Jackson should apply the Chalobah mentality, and he's actually saying that it's Jackson's agent who incited him to leave, not to refuse to come back to Chelsea. But Wedege is saying that Jackson was treated harshly, and he's justifying Jackson's decision. What do you think?
Do you want my honest opinion, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like, do you want my honest take on this?
Just say what.
To be honest, I'm kind of siding with Wategi on this. To be honest, like. I don't know, bro. You've treated the player very harshly, man. Like, you've made him train alone. and yeah, like Chalobah loved this club. We know that, right? So obviously he was gonna come back, but like Jackson was
Jackson
just
didn't love the
trying,
club.
was trying to be professional, but like we treated him pretty bad, guys. Like let's be honest, we exiled him for no
Maybe,
reason, and like it is a little embarrassing. Yeah.
maybe Jackson was not sent to the bomb squad. He wasn't sent to the bomb
Yeah,
squad.
he was
Jackson and
training.
Kunku actually were training with the first team because they could be
Yes.
reintegrated back. That is what Isaac is saying.
But
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought we made we
any, every man
were
has
like,
pride. Every man has pride. Come on, everybody in this panel here has pride.
yeah, uh-huh.
And you're not going to let
Bertie had
yourself be
said
humiliated.
something
Wait, like I don't.
about loving the club. Chalobah loved the club. What about
So
Jackson?
he loves the club. The club has given him opportunities. The club has made him a superstar. Of course, he loves the club. Chalobah came from some unknown French team. Never heard of who Jackson was. Come to Chelsea, become international superstar. The whole of Africa knows him. All of Europe knows him. Of course, he loves the club. But at the same
Are
time,
you
you
sure?
can't expect. Of
Are
course,
you sure all Africa knows Jackson?
they love Jackson everywhere. Mozambique, Malawi, Botswana, Egypt.
Jackson,
They
Jackson
all love
is
Jackson.
not a player as Drogba, as Samuel Eto'o, as no, he's not like Salah. I'm sure that some people doesn't know Jackson.
Everybody
Really?
knows
I'm sure.
Jackson.
Who
Jackson is
Jackson
well
is?
known.
Yes.
All the misses he's made, everybody knows him. And,
Okay, so you know it's not good. That's how you know it's not good. That's how you know he makes mistakes.
he's made himself famous. Come on, yeah, you can get
Doing
famous
the
in many
wrong
ways.
things.
Yeah,
He's made himself famous doing the wrong things. Picking up
I don't know about
keyboard.
that, but everybody knows him because Chelsea is always on prime time. This is the thing: Chelsea is always on prime time TV. So everybody watches Chelsea. Whether you like them or not, whether you don't want to watch them, Chelsea is always on prime TV. So you can't avoid to watch Jackson. And people get frustrated, people get happy. I'm always happy when I see Jackson. When I see Jackson and Enzo, those two guys, then my day is complete. But and but it is that is how it is. But I don't know. I know most people, Chelsea fans, they were very frustrated with him, and then until the day we needed him, and then yeah, Jackson, yeah, he's okay, we need him. Oh, okay, no. No. You can't have your cake and eat it both
Also
ways.
changed.
You have to stay. You have to have honor and dignity. If you said you didn't like him, you should get out of the club. Stick with the narrative. Don't change now that because you're in deep water because you had on a striker. Now you want. Now he's suddenly good enough. That doesn't make any sense. No, it's I don't know. Yeah.
I agree, to be honest, because like at the end of the day, right? Like as much as we want Jackson to come back, from a player's perspective, like why would he come back? It's
And even
like
if he did come back, sorry to interrupt you. If he
oh
came back, he'll be sulking. He'll destroy the mentality of the club, the players, because he'll be sulking and he'll be
yeah.
downing tools and bad attitude and what else? What else is he going to do?
And like at the end of the day, to be honest, like okay, we didn't get Jackson back, but we got a decent deal from Bayern. Like we have to remember, we signed Jackson for like 30 million. We've already accumulated 15 from a loan alone. That's actually pretty good. Like if we're being honest, right? Like I don't know for this whole Jackson situation. I do kind of agree with Isak. I do think his agent had a big part to play in it. The way he was talking, but at the same time, like. Like if I'm someone in Jackson's camp, I would say he made the right choice. To be honest,
You see
We
the
make
agent. The
we
reason
make
why
him we make
the
him a
reason,
superstar.
but you see the reason why the agent was pushing for that transfer is because whenever a transfer happens, the agent gets money. And
Yes.
saying about
I get
Jackson being
that,
paid
but
as
like at the same time, bro, like even money aside, though, like I was talking more like from a perspective of someone who's close to Jackson. Like Chalobah was different. Like when we compare Chalobah loved Chelsea, right? I think he's probably a Chelsea fan. Like you can see it, right, when he plays, how passionate he
That's
is.
what I'm
But,
saying.
yeah,
Jackson didn't love the
but
club.
Jackson isn't.
All what he was doing,
Yeah, but that's
kissing the
okay.
badge.
Like you don't have to. You don't have to love like your company that you work for, but you're doing your job, right? Like, okay, Jackson, look, he wasn't a bad player. Like, let's be honest, right? Yes, he had some bozo moments, and yes, he had some misses, but he wasn't a bad player. I think
Also
he was
moments.
doing his job, and like
Maybe,
we treated him very harshly, man.
maybe I have
So
a
like, I can't
question.
really blame him.
Mekdi, you've made a very good
Uh,
point when it comes to the company. Now, let's ask this. You're working for this company. This company has treated you bad. But you also have an option of going to work into another company. And now your company says, okay, your colleague left. Your colleague is on sick leave or on paternity leave or maternity leave. So we really need you, by the way. We need you to stay at the company. And then you have a company that is going to hire you and is going to pay you money. So even if you come back, even if you decide to stay, you'll be staying. You'll be saying now, by the way, add my salary. I need overtime. I also need these off days. I want to come to work this time. That is what a lot of people are saying, that he would have acted unprofessional.
But football players nowadays, they are more than football players. They are brands, big brands. So what do you think would happen to Jackson's brand if he came back with his tail between his legs and been humiliated there once yet again? This will do terrible things to his brand. So of course he's not going to come back.
Watege and Melody, let me ask you a question. Please be honest. Did you know about Jackson before he joined Chelsea?
Nope.
So we
Never
make
heard of it.
him a superstar.
That's true. But he's not. When you come to Chelsea, Chelsea is a big club. You've always in the prime time. You're going to become a star or you're going to become a villain, one or the other. Cucurella, when he came, he wasn't a star. He was a villain. He had poor form. It took him a long time. It took him, 1.5 years before he finally found form. Now, obviously, he's one of our best players. But, this is when a team like Chelsea buys you, they don't buy you for fun. They buy you because they need your service. And I don't know. But he grabbed his opportunity at the time. Sorry.
There's this tweet here, just to shed some light on something, because this is also something we need to talk about. So there's this guy called Samuel LFC. He's probably a Liverpool fan. He's saying Oliver Glasner has ruined his captain's dream opportunity to join a Premier League champions after staying on and played every game without a fuss, despite asking to leave. As well, the owner's last chance to cash £35 million on a player leaving for free, all for his own greed. And this is one thing that annoys me about Liverpool fans. But I saw the interaction between Glasner and Guehi at Stamford Bridge, where the manager tried to talk to him, but Guehi was going away. But why are Liverpool fans criticizing other clubs when their players are behaving badly, but when Trent honored his contract and left, they're calling Trent all manner of names? You see, Liverpool fans are one of the most, I think they are one of the most hypocritical fans in the league. They talk about class. They say the way Chelsea fans are classless, the way Chelsea fans are this and that. And even you have pundits like Jamie Carragher always attacking Chelsea. But Liverpool fans are so quick to say how clubs are mistreating players because clubs are not allowing their players to leave without them replacing. Because Crystal Palace were actually ready to accept Liverpool's offer, but Crystal Palace missed on their target. So are they supposed to give a centre back to Liverpool and then them not to have a centre back? Do you think that there is somehow some kind of bad behavior from Liverpool? I think Mehdi is trying to talk and is muted. Yes, Isaac.
Yeah, actually, your question was about Liverpool,
Yeah, yeah.
about their recruitment and the comment. You know, um, I'm not someone who use. Of course, I can read them. The comment of Jimmy Garaga and others, I can read them, but I'm not following that. Like what they say is like a truth or no, because they are really sometimes confusing. When Chelsea played well, they appreciate, and then when you you recruit, and then they start saying something bad, and just after winning the Club World Cup, someone else, I think, Sam Jimmy Gallagher was saying that we are not going to 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 challenge for for Premier League, but we are just going to play for top four. And again, based on what you see, a team who show their performance in Club World Cup, the way we play against PSG, but you come and you say no, this team is just playing for the top four. Based on what? That's why I'm not following their comments. So I'm reading them as everyone, but I cannot like believe on what they are saying. And I will not change my comment now and my feeling about Chelsea. I'm sure we have all the tools, all all we can to challenge for Champions League and Premier League. So my only prayer is that every player should be fit. If everyone is fit, so we are good enough to challenge for everything. Liverpool, I'm not scary about Liverpool. I'm not saying about Arsenal. Arsenal, I know somewhere they will drop points. And Liverpool, I want Chelsea to face Liverpool and win Liverpool. This is what I want. So the real level of Chelsea will be shown against team like Liverpool and Arsenal, maybe Manchester City. So for me, they can keep winning, but the only things I want is when Chelsea will face those teams to beat them, and then we can ensure to win the Premier League. That's it.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. In fact, I also want to see how they are going to progress in Old Trafford. I want to see, are they able to win
I
there?
think so.
Yeah.
We're I think we're one João Pedro injury away from like disaster though, because he's our only striker left and he doesn't have a good fitness record. So like that's worrying to me because like now we have Mark Gui. I don't know like when we come back from Brentford, if Palmer isn't fit, are we gonna play Gui up top and Pedro behind him? Like that's not convincing, you know. Like when you think about Carabao Cup games as well, you have like Gittins and Bounanotte and I don't know who's gonna play on the right and Gui up top. Like it's really not a convincing team on paper. But I will say, I in my opinion, I don't think the club is looking this year as a year to win titles because I think the big hitters like Estevao are all out on loan and they're waiting for them. Like who's that midfielder? Went to Norman and Semino. I don't know. Then you have Kendry Paez, and then you have Pendes, you have Quenda, you know, and you have Sar. So I think they're really banking on these guys to be like world beaters. So when they come back, we're gonna be really strong. But I don't think this year like the club and the board are really looking to win titles. I think they're just looking to maintain top four and hope those guys come back. And some of these players, you know, when we buy them, we're looking to flip them for profit. So you can just see it, like literally. Like Dewey just looks like a flip player. Garnacho, maybe even if it doesn't work out, one of Giddens or Garnacho, we're not gonna flip them for like profit, maybe 10, 12 million. So like I don't know. Like when we talk about title challenges, winning teams, I think that's just down to Maresca being a really, really, really good manager. But for how long are we gonna be able to like rely on that? Because I'm sure when this window comes to an end, he's gonna be really annoyed. his squad compared to the others is bad. Like it's really bad. Like you take Arsenal's team compared to like ours, like they have Eze now. You know, they got Gyökeres, they got Zubimendi, they just bought in Hincapie. Like now their backline is Hincapie, Mosquera, Gabriel. You know, they have that depth. Like with us, bro, he's been screaming for a centre back and he hasn't got it. We got Delap out. We went out looking for a striker. We weren't even able to call Jackson back. And like it's really embarrassing. We had Xavi Simons taken away from us. This just a team that really is prioritizing titles because, and you can tell from the fact that they wanted to get Garnacho over Simmons. I think that speaks volumes about it.
So I think you are agreeing with Isaac, and you're not quite satisfied with the window. True.
Yeah.
It's a horrible window.
Okay, so I think we have hit the 1 hour 30 minutes, and we never wanted to actually go beyond that because I know a lot of people have to do one or two things. So once again, I really want to thank all of you. Christian has had his phone having an issue, so yeah, it is good. And if you are not subscribing to our second channel, kindly do so. And once again, thanks everyone. Thank you, Mekdi, for coming despite your challenges, and thank you, Isaac, once again.
Thank you.
Of course, man. Bye.
Thank you.
Take care,
Okay.
man. Looking
Bye-bye.
forward to the next stream.
Thank you also. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So bye everyone and see you again.